Clinton James.
Yes, this is Clinton James, your local real estate broker here in San Diego. I want to say welcome to all the guests today. I will say we're taking over Taco Tuesdays. Let's talk about it Tuesday. I always want to let you all know where y'all can find me in the corner. I'm working on myself later, inspiring others. Right. Let's go.
We about to do that thing where I take a swig of some of this water. So let me tell you about this powerhouse speaker that we have here. Let me tell you, she is a certified life coach and a best-selling author who knows how to turn pain into purpose. I was talking about she's living in God's purpose. And might I add, she does it with great style too. She has over 8 years of experience of lighting up stages nationwide. She combines honesty, healing, hands-on tools to lead women from heartbreak to stepping boldly into the next chapter. She is rooted and distinguished at a 13-year federal career with the Department of Defense, the Department of the Army, and the U.S. House Committee of Homeland Security. Logan, let me tell you about this. She merges leadership with life lessons in both ways that's both deeply impactful and refreshingly relatable. Born in the great state of Mississippi, you see if you can spell that. Thriving out here in California, her mission is simple: guide women back to themselves and help them love who they find. And she's all about fitness, fashion, catching flights, family cookouts, girls' night out, which means fellas, you're not invited.
So don't ask.
So don't ask. And this is my favorite. And some dark chocolate, caramel, pecans. You like turtles? Those are turtles?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The next level of the turtle.
Yeah, the turtle. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like Michelle from Everybody's Chris.
Oh yeah.
With all that being said, she's basically unstoppable. Our guest today, Miss Logan Renee. Did I pronounce your last name right?
You did.
That was a nice introduction right there.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for coming back.
Of course, I had to come back.
So so if you guys don't remember, she came a couple years ago, and we talked about her book that she had then.
Yes.
And now she's came out with a new book.
Yes.
Man, she be writing some books.
Yeah.
Be active.
Gotta jot it all down.
Gotta jot it all down. So thank you for coming back again. We appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for having me.
So tell us, before we get into the book and what you got going on, what you been up to lately?
What have I been up to lately? Finishing the book because it's been on my computer for 3 years.
Okay.
Oh, this book's been in 3 years.
On my computer for 3 years, and I kept doing everything else but focusing on finishing the book because I knew I would have to tap into a very vulnerable place in order to finish it. You have to be very honest when you're talking about helping people heal from consistent disappointments in relationships.
Yeah.
So I had to tap into my own story first. Be honest with myself first. So that's what I've been up to, finishing the book. In the meantime, between time, I took real estate classes.
Okay. All right now.
Finished all 3.
Nice.
I realized I'm not supposed to be in real estate. You need a special anointing to sell homes in California.
Absolutely.
If you're not called, run. And run fast.
That's right. That's right.
So I was trying to distract myself with everything else besides finishing the book.
Right.
Yeah, I became a California notary, everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I did a closing for a home, and I was at the house printing like 300 plus pages. And I was like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
I said, girl, go finish this book. Go finish the book.
So to make a long story short, you was ignoring God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, I got this time. I got it.
Okay.
Nice.
He was like, you don't have it. Yeah.
So you finished the book.
Finished the book.
And so you heed God's word.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this book.
Yes, that's what we want to dive into. It's it sounds like a Tyler Perry movie. Right? Heartbreak. What's next?
Well, mine always has a good ending.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
So it's about healing from consistent disappointment in relationships, especially in this day and age. For some reason, social media pins us against each other as men and women.
Absolutely.
Men and women.
I'll speak about it.
When the truth is, we both want the same thing.
Okay.
Everybody wants to be loved.
Right.
Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be respected.
True.
Everybody wants to be heard.
Right.
You know? Right. And I think we're missing each other's points trying to be right.
True.
You know?
You know?
when both of us are making valid points. What do y'all think about that? Both of y'all are married.
Right.
Do you all see this war against men and women online, even if you're married?
Well, I'll put it like this. Me, Clinton, and Dion, we were talking yesterday.
Mm.
And I think me and you both were saying, I'm glad we're married right now.
Right.
Just
right.
with this whole...
Because it's different. It's different now. You know, it's very different because what you have social media accentuating everything and highlighting, looking for highlight reels, right? Yep. So I mean, you're gonna get the ones that are you're gonna get the topics and stuff that are gonna trigger people, right? Or like engage them, right? But I would say some of the things have been what have been said because are valid, right? But at the same time, too, it's how it's being delivered, I think.
And the messages.
Right, the messages behind it.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I always say is this, is that being married, I'm out of the game. I have no idea what dating looks like in 2025, right? Yeah, but I live vicariously through all the single folk come around. And I always hear the stories, you know, everything is online now. Yeah. It's very impersonable. Yeah. Right, but then you see, you go online and you hear the red pill, blue pill topics, right? Yeah. And what I'm realizing is that the people, it doesn't resonate with me because I'm married, right? So the people who are talking about these things are not married or giving advice, like a single person giving advice. Right. So for me, I'm kind of like, I would say it's kind of like this. I don't know how that life is in 2025. So maybe what they're saying, it's valid, you know, it is. Right? Like the Cheesecake Factory thing, all that stuff.
Too many options? Is that what you mean?
Right.
You mean the standard?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. That was a mess. Yeah, I mean, dating apps are an absolute tragedy. I wish they would all just shut down so people could actually get back to talking to each other in person.
You know, I was listening to someone talk about dating apps. And it does pick out all the things you want in somebody, but you don't get that synergy when because there may be someone that they don't check off all the boxes, but you just somehow connect.
Right.
And you can't do that over online.
Right.
You know, that's just
put your best foot. You're pretending.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no bad pictures on social media, right?
You don't ski every week.
Right.
Stop. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So with the book, I really want to hone in on if you're out here in these dating streets and you continuously get disappointed because you're putting your hope in this next relationship. You're putting your hope in, it's like you expect for this time to work out. And when it doesn't, it's another disappointment. It's another letdown.
Right.
So what do you do with all these letdowns? I always say, choose yourself. I always just go back to focusing on yourself because you can't control another party.
That's true.
You can't marry yourself.
That's
true. You
true.
can't propose to yourself.
That's
right.
True.
So get in the gym. Focus on what you're supposed to be doing. Spend intentional time with your family and friends.
Right.
You know, be the greatest auntie, the greatest cousin this world has ever seen.
Right.
You know, start a nonprofit, start a business. Right. Just pour into yourself. Right. And you'll attract that person because you are that person. Right. You know, I tell people all the time, my man gonna meet me in, Puerto Vallarta. You know, he's gonna meet me at a jazz festival. He's gonna meet me at one of my cousins' barbecues because I'm living and enjoying my life. You know, he's doing the same thing. Right. So we come together. It's like, oh, what's up? You know, we're on the same vibe. Right. We're not sitting at the house in the corner crying. Like, I just hope my Boaz comes. Boaz gonna meet me on the move.
Right.
You know, he's gonna meet me at a piano class, all the things.
Yeah.
So I push the book, focus on pouring into yourself. Because the more grounded you are, the more whole you are, the more at peace you are, that stuff resonates. You can tell when somebody's at peace. Right. You can tell when somebody's miserable. Yeah. You can see it on. You can say you give the greatest speech,
right?
But you can just look at somebody and be like, that person was content. And this is the
Angie's
key.
off, right.
I don't need to know your relationship status when I look at you. It does not matter. Are you fulfilled and happy and at peace by yourself?
True.
So then if you have somebody else that compliments it, that's an additional blessing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask. So the Logan from, let's say 10 years ago, Do you think she would agree with the Logan? Did she know what the Logan knows now?
No.
The Logan from 10 years ago, what was she saying about relationships?
She was still chasing the pedestal of marriage. Because being raised in the South, I was taught if you're not married, you've done nothing with your life. Basically, that's the push. And I had to take it off the pedestal. Still desire it, because two things can be true. You know, you can still desire it, still want it.
Right.
But it is not your world and it's not your God. God is your God.
Right.
And anything that he gives you, a child, a job, a relationship, it is an added blessing.
Right.
But it is not your everything. And I learned that when I lost my mom. Because my mom was, I'm not going to say my everything, but I didn't pray. I would call her and she would pray for me. Or if I needed advice or, a recommendation, I just called her. She always had an answer.
Right.
So when she left here, I had to not only find my voice, I had to recognize and understand God's voice. So I don't put anybody in that city anymore. Nobody. Because they can be taken from me.
And I like what you're saying about the whole vibe and the energy, because there's a saying that goes on, where focus goes, energy flows. Yes. Right. And I'll tell everybody, because I have no, as I said, it's tough for me to advise people in 2025 using using tools from 2020 and not even 1990. You know what I'm saying? The game is different. It's different. Because we grew up where we had a book where we collected all these numbers. You had to go up and talk to somebody. It's like that's where you start.
Oh, you're talking about back in the day,
right? You know what I'm saying?
You go to the mall, you go to the skating rink, you take your pen,
right?
Paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had to go up and say, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" This and that. Have a conversation, right? And then it transitioned into where you have to actually understand what they call game. You know, how to talk to a woman, how to treat a woman and stuff. And one of the things that I see that has changed drastically is the impersonal nature of dating, right? It's kind of like this. I will say, and I tell them a lot of people, because we could have gone up and actually understand and feel the energy of that person and right away. Yeah. Right now we don't have it. It takes a while before you get there. Yeah. So we see that a lot of people go through these apps. I'm seeing people getting married online. Yeah. Without meeting the person.
What? It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. So I'm like
Social Security checks and pensions.
They haven't met this person yet.
So the Nigerian reach out to you. I'm a Nigerian prince.
Right. All that. And I just don't understand, because the thing about it is that you have to, and as you say, when you're working on yourself, and this is what I tell a lot of people today, is that you work on yourself first, right? You will actually attract that person. Because remember, there was this graph that actually was on social media where they showed where most marriages happened and people met their spouses, and it was like a moving graph. It went from 1960s, right, all the way to today.
Well, I want to say the early 1900s was usually through like a family member,
family member, and then it was a church,
and then church, in college,
college, right. Yeah. And but now
then it became online.
Then it's 100% online, so it's totally shifted, right? Yeah. So now people are more, as I said, it's a new world we live in, right? And we go into virtual reality now, so it's kind of like this. When you say that the energies have to match, and you say make yourself happy first, what does that look like to you in terms of making yourself happy first? Like, I know you say working out and stuff like that, but in terms of making yourself a happier person, what does that look like in the framework of Logan?
Asking God, what is your seasonal assignment? So we're taught you need to go find your purpose, go find your purpose, go find your purpose. Right. When the truth is your entire life is purposeful and is broken into seasonal assignments. Right. So everything that you learn in grade school, you need in elementary, you need in middle school, you need in high school, college, grad school. Had you not learned those fundamentals, y'all wouldn't be running a podcast. Right? Sure. You need to learn 1 + 1 and 2 + 2, right? So every season of your life served a purpose for you to learn something, so you're sitting in the correct seasonal assignment. Right. And the timestamp is based on you and God. So I got to talk about how long it is. Sometimes it's 20 years, you're supposed to be in a career. Sometimes you're supposed to do real estate for 10 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you ask God, what is my season? What am I supposed to be focusing on this season? Right. For some of the women, who just had children, you need to be focused on making sure the baby's okay for 8 months because they can't, they can't even hold their head up, right? So you focus on that, and then you start the nonprofit. If you're just getting married, you want to get to know your person. You're just in a relationship, you want to be booed up and hanging out on the beach and things. If you're single, you get the gift of focusing on yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You can go in your bank account and be like, where are we going this month? Okay, that's cool. What we're doing in 2 weeks? What place do we want to go to dinner tonight? I want a little sea bass tonight. And you don't have to have a conversation with anybody. So based on your season in life, sit back and ask God, am I in the right seasonal assignment? If I'm not, please redirect me.
So you said something very interesting when we started this conversation, and I want to know how where you see this going on in the culture today, specifically in the Black culture for men and women. You said you have to be very honest with yourself.
Yeah. And
you kind of delayed it with other things you were putting in place of it.
Yeah.
And then you have to come to realization, you know what, I won't move further unless I'm honest with myself.
Yeah.
So one is, how do you teach one to become honest with themselves, to understand what they really desire and want, and are they putting barriers that are preventing them from being the best version of themselves because they're afraid of truly being honest with themselves?
A lot of times our insecurities or fears or things that we need to be honest with ourselves about, we always say. So listen to the things that you keep talking about, you keep mentioning, or listen at what you're hating on. Because that's usually what you really want.
What you're hating on?
Yes, what you hate.
What you're hating on is what you really want.
It's usually what you really want.
Like what?
That's true.
Like, I don't want no man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's okay. You can say it out loud.
Right.
I want my girl to be. It's okay. You do. You want her to have you want her hair a little longer. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
A little what?
A little longer. But
longer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think we lie to ourselves so much, and we suppress things.
Right.
And we live this fraudulent life.
So who does it worse?
Both.
The same.
Both.
So what is it that women are being mostly dishonest about, and what is it that men are being mostly dishonest about?
For men, I would say what y'all really are afraid of. What y'all really, really are afraid of. Like,
what do you think that is?
I don't know. Since it's 2 men, I want to ask y'all.
What are we really, really afraid in terms of what? In terms of relationships or
relationships, finances.
Right.
Like you say this to your one thing that y'all say to yourselves when your head hits the pillow. Nobody else is there but you and your thoughts. Even if your wife laying there, it's you and your thoughts.
Right.
If you could say one thing that you think about that you don't say out loud, say one thing.
I would say, am I measuring up to the man I foresaw myself to be?
Yeah. And
it could be that, today I needed to fix something. I never fixed it before.
Right.
So how do I, am I reacting in a way that's defensive, or can I be honest and say, I don't know how to fix it? Let me go on YouTube or call someone to figure it out.
Right.
And will that lead to whomever you're with or you're trying to attract, not being attracted to you, or finding that less attractive because you don't know how to do something you would say most typical men know how to do?
Right.
That's good.
I think for me, it's more of family, like making sure the fear of not taking care of the family, right? And also, the second thing I would say is past traumas, right? Not passing that along, because a lot of times you always have to ask yourself, is that something that am I acting like this person, or am I repeating what I know that's a comfort zone? Because we all go to that comfort zone that we have learned in the past, right? Yeah. And so one of the things that I always try to make sure is that before I even respond, especially to my kids or to my wife, is like, okay, well, I don't want to go back to that comfort zone. I want to do it the right way. I want to make sure that, everybody is going to be safe or be healed by what I say, by what I do, and how I do it, right? But so, I mean, that's kind of like where I would say the fear comes in. But a lot of times I would say men, as much as women are insecure, men are insecure, we just don't show it. Because we're taught like we can't show emotions, right?
And I think that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You're told not to show emotions.
Right.
And I will say this for men, because I've heard a lot of men say this, is when you do show emotion,
Yeah.
you normally get attacked by the person you're with by saying you weak, you're not a man,
Right.
this and that, where you could just have a moment where you just are weak because
Right.
you're human.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is fair.
And I think that's
I
think that's a red flag for me. Someone saying to a man, especially because I always say it's like this: women have the power of words, right? And men have the power of their strength, right? So
that's good. I like that.
So one of the things that as I always say that woman can really empower a man to do so much, right? And she can also destroy him just by words, right? So I mean when there's negative words that are being talked to a man, it's kind of like you're putting that negativity on that person, right? So you're gonna get a negative reaction, right? I would say it also pushes men away.
Well, right? I'm gonna add to that. It's not the same for the woman just to blow smoke up your nose just to make you feel good about yourself.
Right.
I mean, just something you're really lacking at.
Yeah.
She should be able to tell you that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how she says it.
Yeah.
It's how you say it.
Yeah. It comes on exactly how it's actually delivered.
Right. And we know when we try to say
when
it to hurt you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Put you down.
And I think one of the things that I've seen a lot of the conflicts, especially today, is that the roles.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of replacing the roles. So you have men who are not, well, I would say not leaders, but they're forced not to be leaders. Because again, you have women who are, I would say have replaced a lot of the masculine traits that men actually have, because they're taking the role of leading, income wise, job wise. You find that, especially in our community, that most Black women are the most educated. Right. So obviously they're going to be competing in the corporate world for jobs and then competing against men. Right. I mean, and then that fight has to transfer when you're competing. Number one, you have to become a little bit more masculine. Right. Is being able to turn it off when you get home. Right. Or let the man be able to lead. Right. And I
add to that.
Right.
Because I've had conversations with a lot of my friends that are married, engaged in relationships, and they've said on a number of occasions they don't want to lead, but because their men won't make the decision for the household, they are forced to do something. It's like I've asked you what school you think is best for our child multiple times. I've laid out what the programs are, how they look, and there's been no final determination, and the application is due in a week. And I told you about this 3 months ago.
Right.
So it's like those type of situations. It's like, I'm participating. I'm asking. I want you to lead. We need to sign this paperwork by this date, or the fertility treatments you need to go and get tested by this date so I can start my cycle. Like stuff like that. And it's like, I don't think they don't care, but it's like, how many times do I have to bring this up to you? And I don't want to nag. I don't want to get on your nerves, but I've asked you this multiple times, and I made it clear it's important to me and the family.
Now, so let me ask you this: do you think it's something where the man's actually just neglecting it because he doesn't really care, or is it because?
I don't know. I mean, I just did 3 different relationships that the examples I just used are 3 different relationships, 3 different households. So I can't say all 3 of the men don't care, but then their actions said they weren't willing to make those decisions or take those actions after being asked by their spouses.
Well, I would say in general, not in all cases, women tend to be more task oriented.
Yeah.
We did this task. Is the next task.
Right.
We have a lot of tasks.
Right.
Or I think men tend to be more. They see things for the longer standpoint.
Right.
They see things from long view. So they're looking at this decision we make tomorrow. How's it going to affect us a year from now, 5 years from now?
Right.
But part of that is having that conversation.
Right.
Because I'll tell you what, I've heard a lot of men say, she won't let me lead. And I don't think I don't think women are like saying, or I'll give you the power to lead. You just lead.
Yeah.
And I think us as men have to learn how to deal with what comes with that. Right. And whether if it's the wrong decision, then you be strong enough to say, you know what, I made the wrong decision. Right. But also within the relationship, can she say, you know what, even though this decision didn't come out to the expectation we had, can I still trust them? Because I think ultimately what it comes down to is if men decide to make a decision and it turns out to not be the right decision or the wrong decision, then it can mean like, oh, she's not going to trust the next decision I made. Right. So if I say, make a major decision like, let's buy a house or something like that, she may say, well, last time you put us in, and then now he's like thinking, he's second guessing himself. Yeah. Right. So,
and I think it's a balance. It's a delicate balance that we have to play, right? So, I mean, men have always been the leaders of the household, right? And that's been the role that they've kind of like ordained with, right? Women has always kind of like been like the nurturers, right? So, I mean, there's certain decisions that, especially when it comes to, so kind of like what you mentioned, like the kids, right? I think a man, for me, I would trust my wife to make the best decision for the kids,
that's
right?
Good. I was gonna say, with leadership, it should you lead in this area, you lead because we have different strengths. That's why we're together.
Exactly, exactly. But I would want to know about it. I want to be informed, right? That's the thing. I trust her. Hey, you can go to make this, but let me know, right? Because my thing is to do the research and everything, and then be like, okay, yeah, I mean, go ahead and make the decision, right? So I mean, understanding that it's a give and take. It's not a unanimous thing when you're in a household. Everybody has to work together. I mean, I don't expect like even a decision, say like what a man going to fix the car, right? You know, so it's kind of like you'll see that he would take the initiative and do it, right? And be like, oh, you know, well, let me see what's going on with your oil, your tires, all that stuff, right? I don't expect a woman to actually, and it's nothing chauvinistic, nothing again, but I don't expect that a woman to be understanding of what.
I don't feel like
that. Hey man, listen, times are different now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, some women can. I care not to.
You need to do all that?
I don't have to do any of that. Well, I can put damsel in the distress. Right. I mean, I can put the class on.
Right.
Well, I can't even think about that.
Right. So there's certain roles, you know.
But you know,
we are going to be able to.
I would say, like, okay, my dad's from LA, but my mom is from the South. She's from Alabama.
She got to do everything.
So she, growing up, she like, you know, if you're walking down the street, what side of the street do you walk on?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And to this day, I still do that. Or if I'm walking in the door, you open. Just simple stuff.
Right.
And recently, in the last couple years, when I try to do those things, it's taken as disrespect.
That's crazy.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's like, for instance, if I leave someplace in the evening and there's other ladies there and it's dark, I said, let me walk you to your car.
Right.
Just something. It's like, I don't need that. I don't need that. And I just learned to just be like,
okay.
Right.
Oh, so today we got a different. People are different now.
Yeah, it depends on where you grew up too. Because East Coast, when I lived in DC, you're not opening the door for anybody. You don't expect anybody to open the door for you. Yeah. Very aggressive. You keep your head down, don't make eye contact. Right. In the South, everybody speaks to you. Hi, how are you doing? Right. So every time, whatever coast I'm on, I have to adjust.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let me ask you this question. So, what is up with us as a group? What's up with us Black folks? We have, out of all the groups, we have the lowest percentage of marriage. And so, and at one point, we had the highest.
Right.
Especially Black women. Black women have the highest.
Right.
That was like 1970, and after that, it just started going down. What do you think is happening to us? I know you mentioned we're not honest with ourselves, but why do you think we're butting heads?
It could be so many things. Like you talked about us rising on the corporate ladder and not being able to date somebody at that same level,
Right.
you know, and then being held hostage or judged for that too, you know, like
From who?
Black men not wanting to date us or not, you know, I'm not going to say feel like they're as adequate, but in my experience, I've also been talked down to, like I need to be humbled because of the position I'm in or something like
Right.
that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of Black women are dealing with that. And then the numbers, it's not as high numbers.
Right.
We have men that have chosen to be in same-sex relationships. We have men that are incarcerated. We have men that not at the same educational level.
Mhm.
And then you have the men that they don't want to be serious at all because they get to pick up the litter. You know,
Right.
they have such a variety of women to choose from. And
Right.
then you're not just
Right.
speaking Black women, it's all races.
Right.
Because Black men are a hot commodity. And Black men know that, especially if you live in San Diego. I mean, y'all are just, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've been on dates and women will literally do anything and everything to get my man's attention.
Were you on a date with him?
Yes, if he's a Black man. I promise. I'm not even making this up. It is disrespectful out here.
What do you do?
I'll let him handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, I expect him to handle it.
Now, some men are oblivious to that, you know what I'm saying? Especially when they're focusing on their woman. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I'm keeping my head on the swivel. I'm always aware. I'm clocking.
You don't know.
And the waitress, what would you like, ma'am? Why are you touching him? I'm so confused.
Well, you made some good points because I think a lot of that is intentional. Not well, I don't want to say intentional. Well, intentional, but I think all of it was systematic and inputted into our community. Where the biggest thing we had to help us go to civil rights and slavery, Jim Crow, all the things we went through
Right.
was the fact that we were able to stay together as family.
Right.
And now that we have more choices, more freedom, more anything than we
Right.
ever had in our lives, you see less and less families.
Right.
Right.
And that's been the backbone of the growth of the Black community.
Right.
And the fact that we see, to be honest, it breaks my heart because I do see a lot of eligible women and men that could be married. But like you mentioned, she just may make more money than him.
Right.
And she was like, I don't want to choose another option.
Right.
Or just it could be that, what's another issue? What's another issue? Most people-
But I mean, one of the things I would say, I'll kind of say this. I don't think it's absolutely a money or income thing.
No.
I think it's more of a status, right?
Mhm.
Because everybody wants to. It's kind of the fear of being judged by others in the circle or in that environment. Because think about it like this: if you were the woman was making more money and the man was making less, but they decided to move somewhere rural, right? I don't think it would be an issue because they had to depend upon each other. They had to depend upon each other solely to make it happen, right? Take care of kids, so they share responsibilities.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, too, when it comes to where you find that there's a ecosystem or a bubble of people who you connect with, the husband and wife element or the structure.
The first question asked is, what do you do?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
What did your husband do?
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Right, exactly. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like as I said, it's the insecurity or the fear of not being able to be competitive,
Sure.
right? Because men have that. All men, I would say, look at size up each other, and that's how we are, right?
Yeah.
So if your woman is around corporate men and you're not in that situation, it is going to feel like a little bit of a insecurity, and that's what I'm saying. It takes a woman to actually kind of like know how to actually kind of balance that out, and the responsibility doesn't really fall on the woman, right? It does.
It's not her fault. She's electrical engineer.
Right. But I think we should look at the fact that she's making more money.
Yeah.
Right. Is whether or not they can create something that's compatible between them, because I've come to understand that even in marriages we compare our marriages to each other because of social media.
Yeah.
Right. Even in relationships, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's all up to them because you have to build that life together.
Yeah.
Not everybody else.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you take the vows. It says health, and so it's those vows mean a lot, right? It just doesn't mean, oh well, because I'm making more money now I can actually do what I want, right? So I mean, I think it comes down to that because that's what our parents had before, our grandparents had.
But just the initial choice. I mean, I've learned if someone's really into you, they just really into you. So they really don't. I don't say they don't care,
right?
But they won't make it work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I think people use those standards as barriers of well, this is the reason for me to say no.
Yeah, and fear of being burned again, depending on how their previous relationship ended with her. If she felt used, if she felt, like he was trying to use her as a step stool.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the book I talk about men who will take full advantage of, your position and who you're connected to, only to get to that position and go be with the woman they really want.
So what?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's interesting.
Yeah.
We're talking about heartbroken now. What
my sister been shake her head, so she agree. She agree. Okay.
Right.
So what happens? So heartbroken now. What?
Yeah.
What tends to happen towards the woman when she's heartbroken? What's the cycle that they usually go into after that?
Well, first you got to get Ben and Jerry's. Okay. Yeah.
She said Ben and Jerry's.
You have to sit down and be like, oh.
Not Ben and Jerry. That's ice cream she's talking about.
Yes,
Not Ben and Jerry.
He's clarifying.
Yeah.
And you got to get the pint. You can't eat just a piece of the whole pint. Okay. First you need that. Just sit on your couch and get a Netflix special. And it's all, I don't know why we love to watch a love movie after being heartbroken.
Okay.
So I don't know why we do this, but we have to sit there and cry and watch a love movie. So in the book, I talk about getting it out, sitting in your feelings, sitting in the suck, because it's not fair. You didn't deserve it.
Right.
You wish it would have turned out different, and that's okay. Because pretending like it didn't hurt you, it does not help you.
No.
You would rather heal it than just survive it. That's what I like to say. So you acknowledge that it actually really, really hurt you, and then you come up with a plan. Okay. What are we doing to make sure we have distanced ourselves in this relationship? Because this person is no longer my safe space.
Mm-hmm.
You have to distance yourself. This person, you should not be calling them if somebody passes away.
Right.
If you get a promotion on the job. If your sister calls you and tells you she got pregnant or something that you would want to share with that person, they no longer should have access to your personal life because they are not your safe space.
Okay.
Right.
So you got to distance yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to step away.
Yeah.
That's when you go into choosing yourself.
Right.
Things I already talked about. What's the last thing I talk about in the book?
Is it finding the right friend group?
It's your circle. It's your assignment. Focusing on those things. Yeah, your circle, your assignment, and then getting back on the dating scene too.
Right.
Once you have healed it, you're not.
Once you've healed.
You're not using this person as a scapegoat or anything like that.
Right.
Like, you've healed from this person, and they're not a consistent conversation that you're having with your therapist and your friends.
Right.
Like I said, our heart always talks about what's on our mind. So if you just listen to the things you say, you'll know that you're really not over it. So if you're not over it, please don't drag somebody else into your pain. Yeah. Because you're just adding pain onto them. All of us are coming with baggage. If you're over 30, you're coming with baggage. So why not? Why give that bag to somebody that you just met? That's not fair.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So when you get back on the dating scene, you should be healed, but don't be afraid to go back out there. And what I also give in the book is a lot of examples of how to meet professional men, good men, and I encourage women to go out by themselves. Take themselves on date nights. Don't save your perfume, ladies. Put on your best perfume that you put with a man. Get dressed up. Literally take yourself out. I talk about going to the sports bars, doing homecomings, or what's it called? The
Super Bowl.
What's the college?
Now let me ask you this:
March Madness.
March Madness.
Is that recommended for men too? Though?
Since the book is written for women, I talk to the women. Okay. But yeah, I think men should too. Yeah, men should go out. Yes.
Take themselves on dates.
Yes. Go somewhere. Do something. Because how are we gonna find you at the house playing PlayStation?
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Well, the
'Cause we
question
don't know your
is,
address.
are women still attracted to men that play PlayStation and over 30? But
Yeah.
anyway, they are? Oh,
For
okay.
sure,
I don't
for
know.
sure. Everybody has their thing.
Okay.
I've decided in this season of my life, stop judging people. Everybody has their thing. As long as your thing don't break us,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
cool. If you gamble and your budget is 150, don't go over 150. You know what I'm saying? If your thing is you're extremely obsessed with the gym and competitions, cool.
Right.
Just don't miss my graduation. You know what I'm saying? As long as it don't break us, do you?
Right.
I have learned to stop judging people.
Okay.
Because we're all trying to figure this life
Yeah,
thing
absolutely.
out.
That's
So
what
however you calm down and break,
Right.
especially as a black man. Because I know when you walk out that door, you fighting a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if your calm is coming to play a game for an hour, go ahead, babe. Play the game.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So you said sports bar, go by themselves,
Go by yourself.
wear your best perfume.
Yes. So when you walk by and they're like, hey, girl, what you got?
Okay. All right. Question for you. So you're there.
Yes.
You're there at these places.
Yes.
Then what?
Events. Definitely conferences, ladies. Go to conferences. Black engineers, black doctors, whatever your flavor. I just choose the black ones. Black neurosurgeons, especially if you live in San Diego. They have conferences all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what I do is I take my laptop and I go work in the hotel
There you
while
go.
they're having the event because they're going to walk through the lobby.
That's game right there.
Yeah. So you're sitting there just
That's
working,
great.
looking cute. And somebody's gonna be like, would you like a drink? I would love one. I'm just working so hard. Boom. There you go, ladies. I mean, I've met my last 2 boyfriends. I met that way.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. It just didn't work out because religion, and then the other one didn't want a child.
Okay. No, you hitting on some game because when I do interact with women who are single and they do want to be with someone, I say, where do you go? Like, what activities are you involved in?
Right.
Yes.
And there's usually none. It's work and home.
No.
Right.
And when they do go out someplace, it's usually around a bunch of people that they know.
Yeah.
Right.
So this,
Or other women. And what man is really gonna walk up to a group of 5 women?
because you,
Not nowadays.
Well, no.
They scared to walk up to just one.
Right.
So you standing there with 5 women is
so
easy
how do you invite to see someone that catches your eye?
Mhm.
What advice do you give women to get that person to come over to talk to you?
So for me, I'll like make eye contact, with the person, or smile or something like that. A welcoming presence. If we're standing right by each other, let's say we're in line getting coffee or something, I'm like, okay, shoes. I'll say something like funny.
Okay, so you
I'll
don't
make
have a
the
problem
ice.
approaching a man.
No, I would not approach him. To
You
me,
would
that's not
not.
approaching him.
Okay.
Because I could be asking him to pass me a straw. That's just opening the conversation just in
Right.
case. Now, before this whole exchange, I've noticed him looking at me. If I say something, it's only because I've noticed eye contact consistently or something like that.
Okay.
And if I can just tell this poor man need a little help, he's scared, he's trembling in his boots, I'll make a joke just to break the ice.
Right.
But to me, that's not approaching me. I'd be like, okay, so we ironed today or something like that, just something funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But if that's not your thing, ladies, make eye contact, smile. Don't be on your phone, make eye contact, just be approachable.
don't stare though.
No,
Right.
don't be creepy.
Don't be
Right.
creepy.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just trying to learn. I was trying to learn in 2025 how y'all do it. I'm like, oh, yeah. Y'all approach and stuff. So that's game. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with speaking.
And
Yeah.
interesting what you said okay shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
Men never get compliments.
They never
Right.
get compliments.
Never.
Yeah.
They never get compliments.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if a man gets a compliment, oh, nice shoes, or those
Yeah.
shoes, or I like that shirt, or
Yeah.
whatever, then it's like, oh my gosh, is this the one? The guy
Right.
making this the
Right.
one?
Yeah.
So
And I'll compliment and walk off. I compliment and go and get whatever I'm getting or something like that, and let him initiate, trying to talk to me.
right.
Because I feel like if a man wants you, you'll know, and if he don't, I don't want.
that's extremely important.
One of my favorite chapters is "Don't Get Caught Slipping."
Don't get caught slipping.
Okay. Caught slipping. A lot of times we like to go back to what's safe and what's convenient and what we know.
Right.
And it does not serve us.
So that's the, hey, I got a promotion and job, just calling you to let you know. That's getting caught slipping.
That's getting caught slipping.
Or finding yourself in places where they usually are.
Yeah. And you already know that this person goes there, so you're just going to see if they're there. It's not helping you. Stalking them on social media.
Right, I was about to say that. I mean, social media has changed the game a little bit, you know, so.
They shouldn't have access to you still. You shouldn't have access to them. Watching their page, seeing what they're doing, it does not help you move on. It's
so unfriend them.
Unfriend them, yeah. I think that's wise. Because why do I need to keep up with your life? I don't need to know you just got a dog. Me and Pebbles are never going to
Right.
So,
but one of the things is that if you're in a circle of friends who watch, right. So they are going to pop up. They are going to pop up a little bit in a circle of friends who are. She said, hopefully not. You know,
she wants you closer to the mic.
There you go. You cut yourself.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah. So one of the things is that, as William touched on, is that we're seeing and one thing, I'm in real estate, so, and then doing a lot of advocacy work. One of the things that we've seen is that in our community, because we have a lot of single women, especially single women who are high income earners, they're the ones who are applying more for houses than any other demographic in our community, right? Now we're seeing it's not really moving the needle for homeownership in the Black community. Why? Is because number one is that they are applying, but it seems like they need 2 incomes to make it actually work, right? So in needing 2 incomes to make it actually work, we're seeing that as the trajectory moves forward. And number one, yes, we have, as I said, our demographic when it comes to Black women, they're the most highest educated demographic of women, right? What do you see? I mean, in terms of, I mean, you can give us feedback on this. What do you see in terms of are things changing, or are we seeing more women deciding to be single?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
Do you don't think it's ever going to
I pray it changes. I pray there's a shift, but I see more women. They're like, okay, fine. I'm about to start this cycle club, and we going somewhere 2 or 3 times a month. I see travel clubs. They go out of the country 3 or 4 times a year. They're buying homes together, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, and living next door to each other. You know, making sure everybody's good, safe, and building wealth together.
Right.
Opening, corporations, companies. Just I'm not going to say moving on, but just moving forward. Right. Saying, hey, I can't make somebody marry me, or I can't make this relationship work. I've tried, I've done all the things that people say do to meet a man. So in the meantime, between time, I got to just keep living. Like, women are having babies by themselves,
Right.
I know a friend group in DC, all 4 of them got IVF. Well, they not IVF, but they all got pregnant at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And they live in a 4plex.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little extreme and a little bit interesting.
But they're all raising their kids together. I think their social media has millions and millions of followers on TikTok. And they're making money just from TikTok.
Wow.
They're like, hey, we got our kids, we making it work, we making this money, hundreds of $1,000s a month off TikTok. They're like, we got to move forward. So that's what I see. A lot of women saying, hey, I'm just gonna have to live, Right. And I think, like I said, being honest, they still desire that, they still want that. But they're also not sitting around wasting their life, sad and dreadful. Right. Because they don't have that thing.
But I would say this might be a little
biased,
controversial.
Here we go.
But when you have a kid, doesn't that make it harder to attract a man?
It depends.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but it puts, for one, you mentioned you have your kid the first 8 months, but it's not, in addition to that, that kid's always going to be your priority.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, they say until you turn 18, it's to the rest of their
25.
Right, exactly.
To the rest of their life.
Even past that too sometimes. Right.
Yeah, I mean, as time goes on, they can move on. I mean, there's more freedom from that parent. But doesn't that create an extra barrier?
It depends, because the women have that additional income, that that gap of money that a partner will bring in. Because some women are making over 250, so they hire nannies. They have night nannies, night nurses, day of nannies, trip nannies.
Right.
They bring on a trip with them.
Right.
And then some women that are in marriages, their spouses don't help with the kids at all. So some single women are winning more because they actually have attentive help, that are going to change clothes, diapers, let them get an hour or two of sleep. So even though people are saying it'll be better if you're married, that's if your spouse is helpful. That's if your spouse is participating in raising a kid. Right. So just because he's in the house doesn't mean they're supportive.
But wouldn't that be something that is discussed before we even get to
it? I've heard the best speeches of my life. And these men, I see my friend, I come over and the girl is sticking up like she just stuck her finger in the socket. I'd be like, girl, please go take a nap. I haven't slept in 3 days. I'm like, girl, where your husband at? He's right there. I'm like, he can't change one diaper ever. So again, I stay out of people's marriages, but I go over and help them a little bit, because I know when my friends are just about to lose it.
Well, I remember talking to a guy in my church. He's one of our ministers now. And I came to this epiphany or realization in a relationship that a man has to be wherever he needs to be at that moment in time of the relationship.
Right.
That's the nurturer, that's the protector, that's the provider. So if that kid needs that diaper change and the mother just needs 10 minutes or an hour to get herself together, then that's just something you have to sacrifice for.
Right.
But I do want to ask you this question though. I told Clint, I said, should I ask this question?
Let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah.
Come on with it.
Let's go.
So, to be honest, we can understand why some women don't get married.
Yeah.
But
everybody's not supposed to. Jesus wasn't married, neither was Paul.
Well, how can I say this more?
She's like, Jesus wasn't married.
I'll put it like this. They don't have
oh my God.
the aura where people just are attracted to them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of women who are very attractive and still have a hard time getting some relationship. And you look at them and say, they're pretty, they put themselves together well, a good personality, et cetera, et cetera. What is it that's preventing them from being someone? Because I can tell there's a lot of guys out there who will want to be with them. What do you say to that?
Most of those women not even being approached. The men don't even have confidence.
Is that what's going on?
Literally, I know some gorgeous women who go by themselves to places, and they'll get stared at. They're looked at as this little trophy or this little figment of his imagination, but they're not approached or talked to.
That's interesting.
And if they are, they're humbled.
So what do you suggest to the men?
Okay, perfect example. This past weekend, I released a book. I had a release party in San Diego. And
oh, it's for women, don't never mind.
One of my friend guys, he came up from LA. He's from the South. One of my friends, gorgeous in real estate, so sweet. He was like, put me on your friend. And I was like, you can go talk to her. You're an adult. He goes up to her and says, is that your daughter across over there? And she was like, yeah, it's my daughter. He was like, I can tell because both of y'all foreheads.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of complimenting her, saying he's interested in her, that's the first thing he says. And to me, men do that a lot. They come at you with a joke that kind of cuts you to humble you, to bring you down without even letting you know I'm just attracted to you.
I know where that comes from.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, meaning that they have to, depending on who they're listening to.
For sure.
They probably say, try to humble her.
Yeah.
So you don't think she's this person to be praised or this goddess.
Right.
When sometimes it's just simply just having a conversation.
Right. I mean, and sometimes it's maybe breaking the ice.
For sure.
Right. It's awkward. It's an awkward breaking the ice, but sometimes it's all about the delivery at the same time.
For sure.
Maybe insulting somebody by their appearance is not the best way to actually break the ice.
Yeah, especially
But-
if you just told me 3 things that you liked about her. And
Right.
You told me to go put you on. You know,
Right.
Why didn't you say those 3 things to her?
Yeah. Yeah. And it takes I'll be honest, it would take a woman who is, I would say, confident about herself
Mhm.
and to be able to kind of rebound from that. Like, so say that person is just an awkward person,
Yeah.
right? Right. So I mean, it's kind of like, but he is actually doing something to break the ice with you,
Right.
right? So I mean, instead of maybe taking it as an insult, maybe you can reverse it and say, hey, like, your forehead. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we all got
Bring it
big foreheads. Yeah, what we going to do next? You know what I'm saying? It's like, but at the same time, too, I get it. I mean, it's and I would say this is what it has become very impersonal because men have actually become more introverts because of social media.
For sure.
Right. In back in the day, like when you had to approach it, you had to know what to say.
Yeah.
Right. You had to know what to say. Even the simple things as hi, what's your name, where you from? These are questions that build on top of each other. Right. But I mean, today it's like people are getting their advice from people who are just
online,
right? Online, So it's
Online.
it's like, oh, you gotta humble a woman first before you. And I'm like, that's so crazy that men are thinking that way.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, your self-esteem need to be at the same level of your jokes. Because she come back and cut you, now it's, she's being B or mean or whatever,
right.
Right. And it's like, well, you started this. You came in with the jokes, being mean.
Right.
And now I'm giving it back to you, and now you're sensitive about it,
Yeah.
Well, listen. I'm gonna have this conversation some more, but we're running short on time.
No.
However, Miss Damsel in Distress, heartbroken. Now what? How can those who want to know how to handle themselves in this situation? How do they get in contact with you, or how do they get this book?
So it's on Amazon right now. Heartbroken Now What? Just type that into Amazon. I'll send you all the link as well to share with everybody. And follow me on Logan Renee on all social media. And that's RENA, Logan Renee.
Logan Renee. Okay. Yeah. And is there any last parting words you want the listeners to know about your book and what they're going to get out of it?
Yeah, the purpose is, even though you were heartbroken, that's not the end. That's not the end of your story. You can love again. Love can find you again. And the love that you should crave the most is the love with yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
this was Logan Renee, man. Logan Renee.
And last time she came on, she killed it too.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Last time we talked about situationships.
Ooh, situationships.
No situationships.
Yeah. Now she's saying, what she said, cut it off. What she say, slice it. What did you say? You talking about get rid of the social media? What was it that you said?
Oh, not block them, but unfollow them.
Unfollow them. Yeah.
Unfollow them.
Yeah. You can block them too.
Cut them out. All right. Well, thank you, Logan, for coming and talking with us. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We'll see you guys same time, same place in a couple of weeks. Until then, peace. We out. Let's talk about peace.
Yes. Record. Okay.
I know there's so much you want to say.
We're still on social media.
Oh.
And you can say bye to your social media audience, that camera over there. And if you would repeat your book one more time, information. Before I log out.
The book is entitled Heartbroken Now What? You can get it on Amazon, and you can follow me on social media at Logan Renee, and that's RENA.